One of the things we'll do for you here at Stuteville Landscaping is keep your pool clean when you're not home. So this past weekend, it was very, very windy. So it's blown a lot of pollen and a lot of leaves in this pool, as you can see. And if this stuff sits in the pool and settles to the bottom, it can leave some stains. So let's help some people out and let's start getting some of it out of here. Bam! Jesus, caught me a big one. Is it perfect? No. What's better than it was? Yes. A lot of some of it's at the bottom already. So I've done my best. And that's all you can ask for. Now let's talk about what we have going on landscaping wise. Here on this project, we're starting to enter into the last 25%. Would you say that?
Yeah.
And what does that entail? All the hardscaping is done, all the stuff on the ground is done, the patio cover is done, and so now we just have all of the finishing details to happen. Finishing detail number one, we have this big, beautiful water feature, right? We got to finish up this stacked stone, bring it all the way to the top. We got to take these caps, bring the caps along here on the basin bottom, and finish the plumbing in this base up here and bring the caps there. That's getting stuccoed up, and that's getting stuccoed up. It's going to look absolutely phenomenal. We also have autofill drain thing that goes there. So instead of your traditional putting the pump in the basin itself, it recirculating the water and pumping to the top. And it kind of ugly, it's hard to hide when you do that. So what we're gonna do is put a whole separate basin outside of it. We already run a hot water line there, or not hot water, but it's hot meaning live water line there. So as an autofill, so if there's ever any detection of a droppage in water, it just kicks on and autofills. Now, you're looking at all of this gravel around the pool. What is this going to be? This is going to be artificial turf, and because the homeowners have dogs, we got to do a little bit more subgrade preparing. We've got irrigation being sprinklers going outside of our metal edging here, so when the dogs do use the restroom, they do pee, it can accumulate a smell. But what can we do to negate that? Well, put the right subgrade in so it can kind of permeate through and make its way to the groundwater. But better off, we can throw some irrigation in there, so when the sprinklers kick on, it waters it, it overwaters it, and all that smell flows out into the drains and gets out. In all of our perimeter outside of the gravel, we're going to be putting in all of our planting, our lighting, our mulching, etc., etc., etc. We got to finish building our trellis. And then last but not least, for the backyard, we have this garden area. So we have our trellises up, we have our planters in, we have them stuff for irrigation and drainage, we have our subgrade down for our gravel that's going on top there. So what is going in to finish this area? Planting, gravel, making sure the irrigation is good to go, and yada, 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 yada. Not much past that. Now that we're here done in the backyard, let's make our way to the front yard so we can see what we got to do to finish out there. So that everybody can hear, there's a leaf blower going on. So what we're doing is getting this paver patio cleaned up. And to be honest, I haven't seen this product in this light yet. And if you take a look, it looks pretty damn cool. I like how with the different variations, like if you take a look, like one of these 2x2 squares is lighter in the light, and the other 3x2 is like darker. So I love the variation. I love like how it's a natural stone, right? It's a limestone natural stone, and so it's pretty, you know, it's different. You know, nothing in nature is meant to be perfect. It's all going to be different. So that looks awesome. So we've already talked about what we got to do in the back. Let's talk about what we're going to do in the front. But first and foremost is we have to get the site prepped up. What does that mean? It's got to get cleaned. So you see all this dirt on this wall? See all that dirt on that natural stone? We got to get that cleaned up, right? Because here's the thing, you can't work forward if you're going to have to work backward. If we were to leave that wall dirty like that, and then we come here and clean these weeds out, and then we put in our plants, we put in our lighting, we put in our mulching, You then would go to pressure wash that and everything would just fly everywhere. The bark would fly everywhere. The lights would get dirtied up. What we're doing today is getting all the weeds taken out. We're getting the walls clean. We're doing a pressure wash so everything is good to go to set us up for the future, because now we're gonna come through, clean all this up, get all this debris out of here, get all this trash off the site, because we need to have almost like a blank canvas to get it ready for completion. This project, like I said, we're getting it ready to finish, and you have to prep the site in order to get it ready to finish. And what I want people to see is what the site looks like now and what it looks like in a couple of weeks. And this is why you spend the money on rock, why you spend the money on bark, why you spend the money on lighting, why you spend the money on plants, and not tiny plants, but give yourself bigger growth plants, because it makes more sense. So this is why you spend the extra 10, 20, 30, $40,000 on plants, lighting, and bark, because it brings the space together. We're not necessarily here to just do the concrete and the turf and it be done. Let's bring life to the space, let's transform it, and let's make it a livable and enjoyable place.